Our final retiree for today is Staff Sergeant Terrence L. Bandy. Please remain seated throughout the presentation of the awards and certificates. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Staff Sergeant Terrence L. Bandy for exceptionally meritorious service in positions of increasing responsibility, culminating as Public Affairs Non-Commissioned Officer, Tripler Army Medical Center, Hawaii. During the last 20 years, you have provided soldiers and families with unlimited support and care, without regard to personal hardship or risk, and you displayed an exceptional ability to lead and support units alike. Your exemplary leadership was in keeping with the finest traditions of military service, reflecting great credit upon you, Tripler Army Medical Center, and the United States Army. Signed, Dennis D. Doyle, Brigadier General, U.S. Army Commanding. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Holliday will present Staff Sergeant Bandy with the Retirement Certificate of Appreciation. For service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America, Terrence L. Bandy, Staff Sergeant, Regular Army. I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history, with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps, and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Barack H. Obama, Commander-in-Chief. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Holliday will present Staff Sergeant Bandy with the Retirement Certificate. This is to certify that Staff Sergeant Terrence L. Bandy, having served faithfully and honorably, is retired from the United States Army on the 30th of September, 2013. Signed, Raymond T. Odierno, General, United States Army, Chief of Staff. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Holliday will present Mrs. Bella Steed, accepting on behalf of Staff Sergeant Bandy's mother, Miss Bella B. Bandy, with the Certificate of Appreciation. Sergeant Aquino will now escort Mrs. Bella Steed to the position of honor. The Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation is presented to his lifelong friend, Mrs. Nikki Bella Steed, on the behalf of Staff Sergeant Bandy's mother, Miss Bella Bandy, on the occasion of the retirement of her son from active status with the United States Army. She has earned grateful appreciation for her own unselfish, faithful, and devoted service. Her unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible her son's lasting contribution to the nation. Signed, Raymond T. Odierno, General, United States Army, Chief of Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, Staff Sergeant Terrence L. Bandy.
3 minutes. Hopefully. Hey, it's been a long 20-something years. Who knew that a decision made when you're a teenager can last so long and impact so many? I've had an opportunity to PCS over 7 times, 5 different deployments, multiple units around the country. Kind of fascinating for a 63 Bravo or a 91 Bravo diesel mechanic to be retiring out of Triple Air Army Medical Center. It's crazy. But out of all of these years, my medical commands outweigh all the rest. And if you've ever had a broke truck, stuck truck, that's been me. It's been awesome. But these last few years, after I ended up in the WTB, which was amazing, I had an opportunity to work for a young lady named Jan Clark. Took me in and showed me a new trade. Who knew a guy that barely graduated high school would end up writing papers and publications that span around the country? And it's an awesome opportunity. So who knows? I might keep writing. But I had a whole bunch of stuff to write down and all of that, but the biggest thing is I wanted to say thank you to the command team, past and present. General Doyle, you are probably one of the most lively individuals I've ever had an opportunity to serve under, ever. So, Sergeant Major McBee, thank you. But I do want to say that 3 years ago when I started this, there was 2 other individuals that was in charge of the hospital. And luckily enough, I was coming out of a psychiatric treatment or appointment, and my old boss, General Gallagher, ran into me. And it was there I found out that I had the faith that if that man was in charge of this hospital, that I could be healed. And instead of taking the path that I really thought that I was going to take that day, I didn't. You know, 5 deployments is a long time. Become institutionalized. And there's a lot of us out there. And every single day of our lives, we have to live with the days that we live. It's crazy, huh? I haven't cried since my daughter passed away years ago. But I want to say thank you. I decided to do this for my mother. I was going to walk away and just say bye to the Army. But as the days came closer, I started realizing that this was way more important. This is the final chapter of this book. As I get ready to gear up and help a whole bunch of kids in a whole bunch of places around this country in our next endeavors. The friends and family that have joined me here, thank you. After being here since 2006, a lot of people aren't here anymore. And I thank you all for coming and sharing this last opportunity in this uniform with me. Because this is being filmed and I'm going to send it to my mother and father, I wanted them to know that I appreciate them. As a 17-year-old, I didn't have an opportunity to sign for myself. My mother had to. She didn't even know the recruiter was coming. She had no clue how it was going to work out for me. But they've been there every step of the way, from when I bounced checks because I was drunk in Germany, to every step of the way, every care box that was sent to me. Yeah, some of y'all are like, yeah, that was me too, right? So I say thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you. Nikki Velestein. We met in high school. Our father's been friends for over 40 years. And a few years ago, when I was hurt and couldn't take care of it myself, she dropped everything and came to take care of me. It's crazy. Who does that, right? She did. I was a wreck. And through treatment and through everything else, I tried to grow. And out of it, I gained a better friend. My military professionals, I leave you with this. Serving as an Army instructor, I learned how to speak. From a guy that had a speech impediment growing up, to an individual that had an opportunity to change the lives of a lot of officers in OBC. It was great. But I wanted to leave you with this. There's 3 rules to this life. And if you learn them, you'll find success in everything you do. You might look at me as a 20-year-plus staff sergeant, but what I am is an individual that was promoted over countless sergeant first classes, master sergeants, sergeant majors, lieutenant colonels, colonels, and generals. because I did my job. And I did it not for the pay, it's because I gave my life for something greater than what I ever thought possible. And so I challenge you to do these three things. And I teach my kids at high school every day, and I make them memorize this. The first thing is learn, learn, learn. Never be the smartest person in the room. If you are, you're in the wrong room. The next is excellent effort every day. People that don't do this, you find them doing just enough to get by. Excellent effort every day. You ingrain it into your memory, into your soul. I promise you, it'll be a different life. And the last thing is embrace your weaknesses. Plenty of times we get people that run and hide from their weaknesses. And I promise you, you can't hide from yourself. Because everywhere you turn, there you are. But when you learn and embrace your weaknesses, you can fix them. You can strengthen them. You can change your life and the life around you. We saw our country grow. 4 deployments in Iraq. I saw them from when they had nothing to they had no money to they had empowerment. That's what we do as a nation. We empower the world. The double A's on my arm represent the nation's 911. The crest on your sleeves or on your chest, as caregivers to our nation's best army in the world, it's something that has no parallel. I appreciate you. Alpha Company, 18th Medcom, WTB, Command Team, you gave me life when I thought that there was no reason to live. And I appreciate you, and thank you.